Hello and welcome to 2026. I hope you all had a lovely holidays, however you celebrate, and hope everyone has an amazing year. This is my December reading vlog and update. We're going to have a look at what I was reading in December and how I got on. Going to look at what books I got for Christmas, and also what my plan is for this year. Before we do go on though, do hit the like and subscribe, and do hit the bell to get notifications. Help get this video out to other people with dyslexia, to help try and encourage people to pick up books and read. It doesn't matter how long it takes us to read books. It's a wonderful thing to do. The other thing I want to just say is please do come and join me in the Discord server that I've set up to try and create a dyslexic safe environment for people reading, for help and support in reading, and also I've extended to writing as well. So if there's any people out there with dyslexia that like to write, or anyone that would like to support people with dyslexia with reading and writing, with suggestions, helps, tips, and just be there as a moral support to help us out, that would be great. You don't have to have dyslexia to join the server. I'd really like to see some people in there. Okay. The other thing I would like to just let you know, at the end of the video, I will do have a little announcement to make, so stick around for that. Anyway, on to my reading for December. As you might know if you've watched my last video, I'm reading the Parachute Inventory by David Webster. I set a goal to finish this book before Christmas Day, because I was hoping to get some new books on Christmas Day and wanting to start something new. I didn't quite make it, unfortunately. I did get to the end of the actual memoir part of the book, and then there was about 40 odd pages of just letters that David sent home to his family during the war. So I'm slowly going through those letters now, just reading one every couple of days or so. Some of them are very, very long. But I just want to quickly talk about the actual memoirs itself. I thought it was a really interesting insight into what it was like for someone to be on the front line for a lot of the war effort after D-Day. It was very interesting to get more of a sort of feel for what he was feeling while he was there. He's very brutally honest in the writing of how he felt and about the war, about the army, and that was quite interesting. The only downside I would say is there are some military terminology in there that I had to keep stopping to look up, because don't have a military background. It was, some of these terminologies were new to me, so I didn't know. So that's the only reason I might say it's can be a bit hard going if you don't know the terminology. But other than that, I thought it was a really interesting sort of insight, and if that's something you're interested in, I'd highly recommend it. I do have the Band of Brothers book, which was inspired by this book, which I will pick up at some point, hopefully this year, and read through that. So that'd be interesting as well. So that's where I was with my reading for December. I was hoping to have finished it, but I didn't quite make it. But as I say, it's just the letters at the back of the book I've got left to read, so I'm just slowly reading through those. But the actual main memoirs of the book I found really interesting. I do recommend anyone that wants to get a bit more of an insight and an honest opinion of what someone felt like about the army and the war itself. So yeah, that is a book for someone to pick up if you're interested in that. Now, one of the things I wanted to do this year was to look for a local independent bookshop and try and help them and support them by buying books through them. So I did a bit of a Google search before Christmas, and there isn't anywhere around here apart from some secondhand charity bookstores, and I found one that is raises money for a local hospice here, which I do have some personal ties with. They specialise in end of life care, and we did unfortunately a few years ago had a family friend that that went in there to basically for the end of his fight against cancer, which was obviously very sad. And I do try and find any opportunities to help and support that hospice because they did so much for him and his family in his time. So I decided, and in fact, we've got a number of books here that we want to donate. So I thought I'd take a trip up there and see if they take books directly in the shop or if we had to drop them off anywhere else. And it's a quaint little shop in a really nice old part of the city here. And it's you can't really move. Once you've got about 3 or 4 people in there, it's really quite tight and hard to move around. But I had a little look around and saw on the bottom shelf, on one of the stacks of shelves was the fantasy section. So while I'm here, I'll start having a look, see if I recognise any from my reading list. Incidentally, if you want to see my reading list and want to know how I made my reading list, you'll have to go and check out my previous video of the November update, and I'm sure we'll stick a link to that at the end of the video, so you can go and check that out. So I had a look through, and I didn't see a lot, but I saw some books by Terry Pratchett, which I have here. And so the first one I spotted was The Colour of Magic, which I understand is the first novel in the Discworld. And I thought, oh, well, that's perfect to pick up. It's in really good condition for a used book. And I had a look on the back, £1.50. That was £1.50. And then I noticed there was another printing of The Colour of Magic. But I quite liked this particular front cover and this printing of it. Looks quite nice. And that one was in better condition. I also found... now, I don't know how to actually pronounce this word, sorry, but this is my dyslexia hitting. But The Amazing... I don't know what that word is. And His Educated Rodents. I saw that on the shelf as well. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. I picked that one up as well. I thought Terry Pratchett is an author I definitely want to explore and read some of his stuff. So I thought I'd pick that up. I don't know where it is at the time when I was buying it. I know it's about 2/3 of the way through sort of the series of the Discworld books. So I went up to the till to go and purchase it. Again, that was £1.50. So I thought, oh, 2 books, £1.50 each. That's fine. I'm quite happy with that. And they're both in pretty pristine condition, so I was really surprised. But whilst I was in there, in the queue, one of the volunteers at the shop came out from the back and was looking what I thought was the shelf behind me. So I stepped back to let him see what he was looking at, because he was putting books out on the shelf. So I thought he was trying to find where he's putting the book that he had in his hand, where it's supposed to go. And he disappeared out the back and then came back out with this and said, I've got this out the back. No dust cover, but if you want that as well. So he'd obviously spotted that I had 2 Terry Pratchett books in my hand, and thought I'd bring this one out. Now, I know this is one of the last ones that Terry Pratchett ever wrote. One of my friends did say to me that it was when he knew he was dying. He wasn't very well, so he wrote a book about death. That's why it's called Snuff. So I know this is one of the last ones he wrote in the Discworld. So those are really good. I mean, £1.50 each. They were £1.50 each, and I'm quite pleased to have bought them from the hospice shop. So supporting them. So that was really nice, and I thought that was a really good find in the shop, and I think I'll be visiting there more often. There was lots of other things there. There were some things for George R.R. Martin, but there wasn't Game of Thrones. I'm a bit sceptical about starting that series. I do have an issue with completion, and I don't know if I can cope with reading a series that hasn't been finished yet, and may not ever get finished. I know there's a lot of reports to say that he's not going to be finishing the series, which is a real shame, from what I understand. I have been told it's a really good read, so maybe I can cope with it. Comment below if you think I should still read it regardless. But as I say, I do have some issues with not being able to finish something if it's a series. So that was my little haul just before Christmas. It was just really, I only went in there to see if I could donate books directly to the store, and ended up walking out with 3 new books. And didn't donate any books, so I've come back with more books than I took in. But that's fine. I'm quite pleased to have got some Terry Pratchett. As I said before, I have been involved in a stage production of Weird Sisters, which I've actually found the script for, which is now on my bookshelf. I found that over the Christmas period while we were doing a bit of sorting out. So let's move on to some more exciting stuff. What did Santa bring me for Christmas? Well, let me grab these. The series I really wanted. Yes, the George Grain, I think I pronounced it incorrectly. Let me just make sure I've got the name of the series right. The Faithful and the Fallen. I was quite excited about getting this one. This is the one when I built my reading list using AI. I used ChatGPT to help build the reading list as I got into this genre. This seemed to be a really, really cool series to get into. Really a good author that I think I'm really going to enjoy. The fact that a lot of people say that he's really good at writing big battles, cinematic battles. And I started reading this on Christmas Day. I am about just over a tenth of the way through the first novel, Malice. It's a big book. It is over 600 pages, but I quite like the idea of getting through that. It might take me a couple of months to read this, but I'm about a tenth of the way through with a week of reading. Up to now, I'm at round, let me see, find the bookmark, page 77 out of 600 and something, 628 pages. It's going to be a mammoth of the book, but I'm already enjoying reading this. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but the way the book is laid out and the chapters are laid out is really intriguing to me. The way the decisions that John made to write this and put this, and it felt very cinematic, like you're watching a film. So I really enjoy this, the way it's put together. I'm looking forward to getting through the other three books in the series and get through it. So I think, to be honest, this is probably my year's worth of reading here, these 4 books. But we'll see how well. I can't keep, every second I get, I'm trying to read at least a page of this, because I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying getting into it. So that was the first present that I got for Christmas. The second one was another one in my sort of the World War II series, the Beyond Band of Brothers by Major Dick Winters. If you don't know, Dick Winters was made Easy Company commander on D-Day because their commanding officer was missing in action, and he's one of the big reasons the success of that company. He later got promoted to oversee the whole division. But I have been told that there is a lot of good advice. It's not just about the war. There's leadership advice in here that people are using today in their jobs. So I thought that'd be really interesting to read sometime. So that and the Band of Brothers, and a couple of other books I've got that I've had over the years to do with sort of World War II era. I'll probably use as cleansers in between books if I need a break from fantasy. So that is going on the reading list at some point. So I'm really pleased to get that as well. That's amazing. So yeah, I've had a really good Christmas. I've definitely got a year's worth of reading here, and obviously got a birthday somewhere, so I might get some more. So that's all exciting. That's all the new books that I've got in December, and the sort of the where with my reading, and I am really enjoying this journey. So I'm glad that you guys are coming along with me, and I hope if there are people out there with dyslexia thinking about trying to get into reading, already reading, and just want some support to know there are other people like them, then I'm here. looking at this book, I would love to have read this in 1 month and say at the end of when I could do my January updates, I've finished this book. I very much doubt I'm going to. It's going to take me a while to get through these books. But onto the announcement I said at the beginning of the video. This journey has sparked something inside my brain, which was surprising. Even before I started reading any fantasy, so bear in mind I only started reading the fantasy on Christmas Day. In sort of the middle of December, I woke up in the middle of the night with this idea of a fantasy story. And ever since then, this world in my head has been growing and the story has been growing. So I have started writing. And it's turning into possibly like a 3-book series. This whole idea that's going round in my head, and I keep getting more and more ideas, and things are all just flowing. And I'll sit at the computer and words just flow from me. So that's kind of the announcement. This is one of the reasons why I expanded the Discord server to writers as well. I'm turning into a writer, or trying to. Whether it's going to be any good, I have pitched the idea of the story to a few friends that are fantasy readers, so they know the genre, and one of them came back to me and said, I'm really excited to read the full story. So that really gave me some encouragement. So these updates are going to talk about my writing as well. So the plan that I've put together with a bit of help with some friends. My father-in-law, who used to teach creative writing. We had lots of conversations over the Christmas period. I put a plan together. So my goal is to write sort of between 250 to 500 words a day, aiming for about 375, which is kind of in the middle there, each day, which will get me by the end of this year, of the end of 2026, will get me the first draft of a first novel, in theory. That's the plan. Not theory, that is the plan. That's what we're going for. And then the 27, I'll start revising that and then start working on the second novel, and then go from there, and let's see what happens. So this is going to be a long process, but I thought I'd just announce that as well, and I'll be updating. I have been sticking to those targets quite well over the last few days, and I'll carry on doing it over this month. Obviously, there's been some days factored into the timeline where I might not write at all because life, as you know, gets in the way. Things happen. So that's kind of my update. I would be glad if you've got it this far in the video, do come and join the Discord. Give encouragement to anyone that wants it or needs it to read. I think it's a fantastic thing, and write if they want to. I mean, I can't believe I'm writing as much as I am. I used to cower away from writing. I hated writing, and I used to try and write as little words as possible and try and make things get my point across in as short an amount of words as I could. And now I'm sitting there trying to find ways to describe what I'm thinking, what's in my head, what the scenes are like, and just words are just flowing. It's just something like a switch has clicked in my head, and this idea of this a fantasy world that's building and building, and it's scary and exciting at the same time. But I'm trying to just stick to the one story at the moment and get this story down on paper, and see where it goes. I see where it goes. I'm discovering my method, my way of writing. I've been watching a lot of videos about that. I've discovered Brendan Sanderson's lecture series, which I've been watching, although there's a lot of terminology there that I don't know what he's mean, because I've never done any creative writing, so I still need to understand a lot of the terminology within writing and the genre of fantasy, but I'm certainly enjoying the journey that I'm on. So yeah, let us know what books did you get for Christmas? Anything new? Um, let us know what you're reading at the moment in the comments below. Let's get some conversations going. Join us over in Discord would be great. And apart from that, I think I've covered everything. If I haven't, I'll probably make a note of it and try and cover it in my next video. Oh, there is one other thing. There might be an extra video coming out at some point. I have got a little bit of money for Christmas, which I have decided will be books. So I thinking of doing like give you a little tour around the local Waterstones here and go and have a look and see what books we can find. And I'll do a little video about the haul that I get from that. But apart from that, thank you very much for making it this far and watching. Hope everyone has a lovely new year and they have a prosperous year of 2026. And just keep reading and keep writing, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.